Hello everyone. Today we'll see one of the most controversial topic, Linux versus Windows. Yeah. Before I get to start, I would like to mention this. Whatever I'm gonna say in this particular video, all are on my personal opinion, and I'm not partial to any of these two operating systems. Before we get into deeper, let me just give a brief description on these two particular operating systems. Windows is a graphical operating system developed and marketed and of course sold by Microsoft. It was written in C and C++ and assembly languages. Linux is an open source version of the Unix operating system. It is developed by the Linux community, which is mostly written in C and assembly languages. Linux operating system gets distributed under various names such as Ubuntu, Manjaro and all. Linux is free operating systems, whereas Windows is not free. Linux is also having some of the paid versions, but Windows, there is no free version of Windows. And Windows costs around some $50 to $250, and Linux is at $0. And let's get into more deeper about these two operating systems, and we'll see what super cool things these two operating systems are gonna do, and what are the best things and worst things about these two particular operating systems. Yeah, like as I have been said, these two operating systems are my favorite operating systems till now I have seen. So let's get more into these two operating systems. Yeah, if we come to ease of these two operating systems, yeah, Windows is people say that Windows is much easy, but I would say that Linux is the Linux too is more easy, because people say Windows is easy just because they are more familiar with it from their school onwards, maybe from their childhood onwards. But Linux is as easy as Windows. That's what I can mention about these two operating systems, about easiness. And if we come to reliability, people say that Linux is or Windows is, they mention whatever they comes to their mind, but I would like to say that Linux is more reliable when compared with Windows. The majority of the Linux variants and versions are notoriously reliable and can often run for months and years without needing to be rebooted. But Windows, I just had Windows a few months back, but it's just now asking me to reboot it again. Although Microsoft has Windows have made great improvements in reliability in last few versions of the Windows, it still cannot match the reliability of the Linux. And if we come to softwares that were present for these two operating systems, Windows has many users, so it has obviously many of softwares, but Linux has few softwares. And even if we think about the cost of these two softwares, yeah, Linux is most of the softwares are free, but Windows we have to pay. If we come to hardware supportability of these two operating systems, although hardware manufacturers have made great advancement in supporting Linux, it is still will not support most hardware devices. However, for the hardware devices that have driver support, they work normally. And because of the amount of Windows users and the broader driver supports, Windows has a much larger supportability. When we come to in text mode interface, Bash is the Linux default shell. It supports multi-command interface. Windows uses a command shell, and each version of Windows has a single command interpreter with DOS-like commands. Recently, there is a addition of the operational power shell that uses more Unix-like commands. And when we come to security, yeah, obvious, Linux is much secure when compared with Windows, because Windows you will have many bugs, many viruses. Windows is much vulnerable. Yeah, Linux is and has always been a very secure operating system, and it cannot be attacked by many bugs and viruses. Although Microsoft had made great improvements over the past years about the security, the operating system continues to be most vulnerable to the viruses and other attacks. So I would just say that Linux is best and open source. Many of the Linux variants and many Linux programs are open source and enables users to customize or modify the code however they want to. You can have even your own version of the Linux operating system. Microsoft Windows is not an open source, and the majority of the Windows programs are not open source at all. You can have even your own version of the Linux by contributing to it, or you can change it. When we come to supportability, yeah, Windows has many its own help section, and Microsoft Windows includes its own help section, has vast amounts of available online documentation and help, as well as books for it. But Linux, it may be more difficult to find users familiar with all Linux variants, but there is much available online documents. Yeah, the key points that I would like to mention in this particular video are, yeah, there are more than 600 distributions of the Linux operating systems, and 95% of the world's best supercomputers have demonstrated that Linux is the best and fastest operating systems, and Linux does not run many serious production applications because of the hardware supportability. And one thing I would like to mention is that Linux is free. We just should go and have a hands on it because it comes for free. And when I would like to say about Linux, I would like to mention about the personalization. In Windows, we can that much personalizability is not like personalized we can't do, but yeah, in Linux we can do this. So hope you guys will like this. Thanks.